morning, good afternoon, and good evening for some. Um, Welcome to our webinar for winning app strategies for the holiday season and beyond. My name is Andres Veres. So we're just going to wait a couple of minutes to give everybody a chance to pull themselves away from their busy schedules before we get going. I see there are already a bunch of you that have arrived early, so kudos for that. In the back, we have Danielle as a second. She's our operations manager, so should anything go awry with internet connections or anything to that effect, we have a backup so we can continue and finish this webinar properly. So just from the get-go, so everybody knows where we're at. In the top left of your screen, you can see there's a section for Q&A. So during the webinar, we'll take some pauses between chapters. So I will look at the questions that are posted at that time. Should they all be okay, or if they are not as urgent for that point in the presentation, I will leave them for the end. So we can do like a bigger Q&A section at the end of the presentation. And in case some of you have to leave early due to busy schedules, then you can leave. We will also be recording this webinar, of course. So should any emergency pop up that requires your immediate attention, don't fret. You will receive a recording of this webinar afterwards. So yeah, I see we're getting some traction. I think most of them have already found their way towards the presentation. So yeah, we're 2 minutes in. Let's get started. And again, if you have any questions, you can post them at the top in the Q&A. I'll check them every chapter of the presentation, and at the end we'll do, of course, some more Q&A so that all the questions that you have might be answered at this time. All right, well, let's get to it. First things first, of course, is why are we doing this? Well, the first reason and the main reason is that it has been my experience that apps will perform to the degree that you invest in it. So we are doing this webinar with the assumption that most of you have already gotten in gear for the holiday season. But as we see sometimes, then the app sometimes lags behind. And that's, of course, an additional opportunity for you to grow your revenue and your business. So we're going to show your app's rightful place in a multi-channel strategy, how to apply your app, how to use its unique benefits and features so that it might add to the customer experience for the upcoming 3 months. Then we will provide you with a clear guide how to utilize it. So how to create certain unique sales, how to use its features as a secret weapon, basically. And then we're going to teach you a bit about growing app users while also growing revenue. So how to use this very important holiday season to your advantage in the long run. So what are we going to talk about? What's on the agenda? First, we're going to do a very short part about app performances. Then we're going to look on what to focus on. You might guess that one already. Determining strategy, which is something of a given, but usually lacks the app within. Then we're going to talk about content, scheduling campaigns for automated launch, so you can simply schedule them and, well, go about your business, ideally. We'll have some important tips because the internet is, of course, full with blogs and videos and whatnot about the holiday season. So I've done you the service of going through a lot of them and gathering up the most important tips for you in chapter 6. Finally, as stated, we do the Q&A at the end. So feel free to leave any questions and we'll get to them either throughout the presentation or at the end. And let's get into it. So the main question, of course, is how effective have apps been in the past year? Well, on the low end, it has been shown that a 40% higher conversion rate has been reached in comparison to a mobile website. Now, of course, these are very conservative estimates because I don't want to come into this with all kinds of big promises. So at least the 40%, so that's a good thing to keep in mind. When you look at 71% purchases during Black Friday and Cyber Monday were done via a mobile device, which is a 4% increase. So we do see the amount of mobile purchases increasing year over year, but I guess for most of you, that's not really a big secret. Then we have seen that mobile generated revenue is pacing at 42%. So even though they are accounting for the most purchases, they're not yet accounting for the most revenue, which is an interesting stat. And then finally, Amazon has been doing Black Friday very early, and they have seen their sales increase. On the first day they started their Black Friday week, instead of just having a Black Friday, they saw sales increase by 62%. So what does that mean? Well, it means that apps provide more revenue, obviously, in comparison to mobile websites. It means that mobile purchases dominate, but they don't yet reach the total threshold of having the biggest revenue share. So utilizing your app on your mobile is definitely something that can pump up those average revenue numbers for your business. And then finally, stretching out Black Friday and Cyber Monday is doing swimmingly for Amazon, and I've seen this trend go with even major corporations to like the smaller stores. Basically, all the cool kids are doing it. Right. So what are we going to focus on in the fourth quarter? Obviously, Halloween for October, Black Friday for November, and Christmas for December. So let's ask the basic questions. When, what to offer, and when to start promoting. Halloween is at the end of October, and what you want to offer, going by trends and sales numbers, are Halloween themed or related products. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just pumpkins and scary costumes. Everything that's related to Halloween, even if it's just a basic black and orange color, will really do the trick. So creating a little sale with some, specially themed Halloween items on your app can really draw in those users, especially when you make it a bit exclusive. So you want to start 6 weeks in advance. Obviously, that's requiring a time machine at this point, but for next year, at least now you know. So Black Friday is traditionally on the 25th of November, Cyber Monday on the 28th. Now, we don't have to tell you what to offer, discounts, of course. You want to start dripping in October and go full force with your promotions in November. And what that means, we'll get to on a later date. But basically, you want to transfer all the views and activity from the last holiday to the next one. So the same goes for Christmas. We probably all know when Christmas is. Discounts is an obvious one, but timely delivery is the biggest one, because you don't want people to go Christmas shopping and then end up with an empty tree. So make sure you focus heavily on your timely delivery and communicate what the deadline is for orders in order to get it in time for Christmas. So just like Black Friday, you start dripping in November and you go full force in December. Draw in customers for Halloween, convert to the app and sell Black Friday, and lock them in with some positive association and Christmas cheer during Christmas. All right, so let's zoom a bit into each holiday itself. So Halloween, who do you sell to? How do you sell to them? And what triggers Halloween purchases? So parents are early shoppers because they want to get the costumes in, candy, and whatnot. So if you're not in the US, UK, or Canada, these might not be your biggest target audience, but millennials are the biggest ones, and they usually tend to shop last minute. Just imagine, Halloween parties, getting all sorts of fun stuff for the evening. So getting spooky is how. Triggers will be urgent discount promotions, which really matches up with the millennial behavior of last minute shopping. So do a sale and offer it with some FOMO, fear of missing out. So you want to do some Halloween branding, of course, and have some content on your push messages as well as your app that's a bit, scary, fear related. Add some bats, some spider webs, stuff like that. So just a couple of quick examples. Here we have some banners that of course, really get the message across, and is pretty much an easy fix. So you have one banner at the top of your app. You can basically leave the rest of your app just as is, but you really tap into that Halloween flavor that way. So this is a neat one from Mango Kids. Just using a basic picture, just adding a little bit of spooky to it, and now all of a sudden you're fully branded for Halloween. And last but not least, an example by Fanta. And here you can see the effect by just changing 3 pictures, the top banner and the first 2 categories. The rest of the app is just as normal as is, but it really conveys that Halloween spirit. So what you want to focus on with Halloween is getting your app users. Now, next up, Black Friday. Who? Obviously millennials. They are a big consumer when it comes to online. Women beat the men on Black Friday, and men beat the women at Cyber Monday. And if you want to really get some men off the couch by offering them special deals, you have to do 50% or over. Well, have to is a strong word, but research has shown that most men will not be shopping new business, at least from new stores, below 50%. The odds are incrementally decreasing below 50%. So high discounts, of course, exclusive sales, early access. And another one to add to this is extended access. So what you see is instead of making Black Friday just a day, people are using an early sale and a post sale or an extended sale to turn it into a week. And as we've seen earlier from the Amazon numbers, people aren't shying away from shopping early or shopping late. A deal's a deal, so it definitely is in your best interest to stretch out the Black Friday period. Triggers, obnoxiously visible high discounts, exclusive bargains and products, of course, is a very good way to shop. You have to keep in mind that people aren't just shopping deals, they're also shopping for Christmas. So gift packages and stuff like that really adds to the cross-selling of multiple products. And then finally, 52% of sales were first-time buyers. So don't shy away from the ads during the Black Friday week, because you are going to potentially draw in a lot of new customers because they're not looking for a specific brand, or they're not loyal shoppers. They're just looking for good bargains on stuff that they want, and that might be just what you're offering. So some examples, I would imagine we all have our ideas and our insights on what Black Friday should look like. Site-wide is, by the way, a very good way to offer some security, because they have seen a lot of reluctancy, some consumer distrust. So a lot of consumers have, they've done some polls, and a lot of consumers have told the pollsters, like, yeah, well, they're probably upping their prices and then throwing them down again, or they're pulling me in with like a 50% discount, and it's just for 2 items and the rest of it is less. So offering a site-wide blanket discount can really build up that consumer trust in case you are going for the new business or the first-time buyers. So finally, this is a very solid one from Chanel. A very good, effective method of garnering up business during this week is to launch a new collection, or an exclusive product, or anything new. And ideally, what Chanel did is they offered this launch purely for app users. So you can imagine, of course, that that will draw in a lot of customers towards the app, which you can, of course, then utilize later on during the holidays of Christmas and the years after that with direct push messaging. All right. Finally, Christmas. Well, not surprising for most is the Gen X's are the biggest consumers. Men tend to spend more on average, and women do most of the Christmas family shopping, and 78% of it will happen online. So there's a huge opportunity for Christmas. You spread the Christmas spirit, you're generous, you add to that what I lovingly call the Coca-Cola Christmas flavor. So you want to have some fun, some wholesomeness, guarantee timely delivery, as I already before mentioned, really important, and do some Christmas promotion focusing on gifts. So really tap into your target audience, figure out what they would want for Christmas, or perhaps their kids, their relatives, stuff like that. So this is a very good example of doing some Christmas branding. As you can see, they've not only done the top banner, but also the icons, which is a very easy fix to do on the JMango app and really adds to that branding flavor for Christmas. Then again, we have Chanel. This one really stood out because here they can really emphasize their own branding, keep their own styles, not go all overboard with mistletoe and baubles and stuff like that. But it is obviously really clear that they are tapping into that Christmas vibe. All right, and last but not least, of course, you will need some banners. So get your styling, go to your designer, have them draw up a nice little banner, put it in the app. That way you can easily brand your app for Christmas without having to go through a complete redesign or rebranding of your app. So basically the strength, just like the Hulk, comes from the banner. Christmas banner. Having made that terrible joke, let's continue. So in summary, during Halloween, you draw in your customers. On Black Friday, you convert them to the app and you sell. And then during Christmas, you can lock them in with some positive association, spread that Christmas joy, and get your customers locked in for the next year. All right, strategy. Now we're going to briefly touch upon this because, as I said, I do assume that you already have one in place. So sales goals, campaign message, and promotions, which are interlinked, then lead to content and push messages. So forming a foundation. Of course, when you have a campaign, you start out with your sales goals, what you want to sell, who do you want to sell it to, and which numbers are you using. So your focus, your KPIs, and your benchmark. Then from there on out, of course, you formulate your campaign message, in which your app should really have some prominent attention. Focus on early access, focus on exclusive sales, focus on mobile only, to really get your customers that extra additional benefit from using the app. Make it worth their while and make them feel special. So really tap into this with your campaign messaging as well, which will finally, of course, lead to your promotions, mobile, early access app only, as I said, business, discounts, package deals, gift guides, all that good stuff. So what kind of content are we looking at when you want to include, the app in your multi-channel strategy? So first off, there is your design elements. Then you have your promotions, of course. And then finally, push messages, which interlink with your social media, newsletters, and other communications. So when it comes to artwork, I've already stated it. I think it's obvious by now. You need some banners, either for the slider or without using the slider, an awesome banner that really represents the holiday theme. Promotion banners, so you can dress up the site if you're doing a special promotion. The same goes for your categories. So if you are doing a mobile only sale, make sure you have those categories ready and set up and also have some artwork for them. And if you're really committed, you can also make some icons for the app menu and theme them a bit more festive. Then promotions. So what you want to get in on very early is to create your early access or mobile exclusive or whatever type of mobile promotion you're going to do. The easiest way to create them and keep them exclusively on your mobile, on your app, is make a category within your store, put all the products in that you want to offer them, hide it on your store, and display it on the app. Now, upload them first. So you have all your promotions uploaded, your Christmas ones, Black Friday ones, whatever ones you want to do, because with one click of a button, you can easily hide them or display them. So if you have any questions about that, do feel free to contact me and I will guide you through how to set this up. Then you want to schedule your in-app coupons, should you be using it. So we offer the option of an in-app coupon code, which is only redeemable via the app. which is a blanket coupon. So do keep that in mind. And then finally, of course, schedule some reminders for timely transitions, because you don't want to have your Halloween banners up when Black Friday is rolling around. So do include that in your activity checklist. Then for push messaging, of course, for each holiday, you want some teaser pushes, you want a drip campaign, you want your actual promotion push messages, and your last calls. Your last calls, of course, being the start and the near end of any promotion period. And the same basically goes for your social media newsletters and other communications. So really blend them together. Push messages are more about text and directing your customers towards your app and a specific section within it. Social media, of course, is more of a branding type. Newsletter is more of a general information type. So really try to tap into the strength of each channel and have them fortify each other instead of just, willy-nilly sending out a push message here and there. Schedule it, put it on your content calendar, just as you might do with your socials, newsletters, and other communications. All right, so that was a quick one about strategy. Now let's get into the good stuff. Prepping content, let's call upon the muse. So I've already made this category, and I'll get into it, what I mean with them right now. So teasers are really meant to stimulate your app downloads, signups for newsletters and other stuff, but we're doing apps. Drip campaigns is about getting your customers acquainted with the sales process. Promotions are, of course, trigger buying impulses. And finally, your last call to maximize yield. So when we're talking about teasers, you want to grab their attention. These are like the early offset communications, like something is coming. You just want to basically get them acquainted with your brand, and of course, ideally with your app as well. So have a clear conversion call to action, preferably towards the app, and add some exclusive incentives to download the app. So this is again where the exclusive sales or the early access stuff like that comes in. So a good example by Havenly. It's pretty clear that something is coming, and it's pretty clear that they're not going to say what. And as you can see at the bottom, they have a very strong conversion. Download the Havenly app. So ideally, you would want to communicate here that something is coming, and that it requires having the app in order to access it. So Happy Socks pretty much does the same thing, but what they do here very well is they include their own branding. Make the world a colorful place is what they're all about. So it's a good opportunity to reaffirm your brand power. So what you want to focus here is on getting people to download the app. They don't know yet. They don't know why yet, but they do know that they are going to need it. That's the message, at least, in order to tap into something special, something big that is coming. So drips is the actual promotions and the path to the promotion that is required of the customer. So download the app, activate push messaging, set your alarm for certain dates, etc., etc. You want to show some hints, perhaps show some products here and there. So this is really where your email and socials really come in to fortify the excitement towards getting the app. And then finally, something that our great team and customers at Creative Cosmetics are doing periodically, as well as some other customers, but a shout out to Levi, is confirmed to customers very periodically via push message, something along the lines of, hey, you got push message activated, you're all set for this year's upcoming special X. So it would look something like this, have it not be that this one subscribes to newsletter. So let me just quickly, there we go. So download our app to be the first to know about our exclusive offers. And then, of course, we need that one and that one. There, now it's perfect, especially the top line. So I think you get the gist with this one. So what you want to focus on, of course, is getting your customers set up to buy, so that when the holidays roll around, they're all set, they're all geared up, and you only have to roll out push messages, promotions, and all that good stuff. So finally, promotions, early access, your main sale, and your post sale. So those three are especially important with your Black Friday, but also with the other holidays, of course. So you want to really throw out promotions. So it's not very difficult. It's not rocket science on this one. And as you can see, in regards to the post sale, I mean, even National Geographic is doing it. So that's pretty much a given that it's not a very fringe strategy anymore. So get your customers excited, get them ready to buy, get them all set up, and you should have a great holiday season. And then finally, of course, the last call, where we're selling the fear of missing out. So you're running out of stock, product access sold out, just a few more left, etc. You want to also sell the last opportunity with this one. So the biggest sale is ending is a very good one I found. Last chance to get in on, etc., etc. That way, you really let your customers know, like, you know, the time is now. Don't wait for the Christmas sale, because Black Friday is going to be awesome. You get the drift. And finally, of course, you want to sell. So also for the app, it's a very good idea to have some last call banners. So have your regular banners as well as a last call. That way, when you use push messaging and get people towards the app, perhaps it's only their first time that they're downloading, so they immediately get confronted, like with the top saying, boom, today, last day, awesome discounts. Really, really make it clear that as soon as they open up the app, that there's an opportunity for them right now. So last call, of course, with push messaging at the start, as I mentioned earlier, and just before the end of the big sale. You really want to go whole hog with the push messaging before it's gone, of course. So the focus is selling. All right, so that was content, teasers, drips, promotions, and last calls. Moving on to scheduling your campaigns. Now, this is, of course, where the rubber hits the road. We have the three big ones. So how do you schedule? Starting with Halloween. So Halloween is, of course, at the end of October. So October, Spooktober month. You want to have a main sale. You want to have some early access or a mobile exclusive, I think is more appropriate in this regard. Have some special items, Halloween branded, to really lure in Halloween shoppers. And then you start with scheduling. So as we said before, 4 to 6 weeks in advance for teasers, really 6 weeks, but you know, that's really hard to do on the 29th of September. You want to start your promotion early access about 3 weeks in advance. So schedule push messaging on these dates in order to create a natural flow that will draw in your customers at the right time. So your main sale promotion a week after that. So usually they're a week apart, depending on obviously how you want to schedule these sales. You really want to start at the right time with these ones. And finally, we have a last call for the early access and the last call for the main sale. So as you can see, these are 5 push messages. If you don't do anything at all, just do these 5 in line with the sales that you're scheduling. Have some brands, some branded banners up, and that way you should be really, really tapping into the Halloween spirit and really utilizing this holiday for your business. So Black Friday, as we before mentioned, you want to start early with Black Friday. So the teaser should come, let's say, around halfway in October. Not just to get an early start on your Black Friday week, but it also adds to Halloween. In the sense that usually when you're teasing something big is coming, people don't know yet when it is coming. But because we're in the midst of this Halloween communication, some might obviously assume that it is related to the Halloween sale. So that way you add some extra mystery for the longer run, but also for the short term for your Halloween. All right, getting into the big one, Black Friday week. Now, Black Friday itself is on the 25th. Most of you already know this. So you have your Black Friday sale, and some early access, which I would definitely recommend because that really works the magic, as we saw with Amazon, increased their sales on the first day of early access with 61%. Those are good numbers. Then, of course, we have Cyber Monday on the 28th this year. And an extended sale is also definitely something that I would recommend. So in this flow, we generate the same type of communication scheduling. So we start with the teasers 4 to 6 weeks in advance. We already saw that one on the Halloween thread. Then you want to, again, promote your early access, go about 3 weeks in advance to Black Friday. Your Black Friday promotions 2 weeks in advance alongside with your Cyber Mondays. Then the last call for your early access, last call for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and your post sale. So again, these are just a couple of push messages that you need to schedule. I would, of course, advise you to line them up with other communications as well. But this way, you're not only promoting the app solidly, but you're creating a flow that your customers are getting used to. So it also alleviates some of the reluctancy in our experience to schedule some push messaging and really integrate it in your multi-channel. All right, so Christmas. We're not starting halfway in November for Christmas. Preferably you want to start a bit earlier because Christmas, of course, is something that Black Friday, Cyber Monday folks are already having in the back of their mind when they're going shopping for Black Friday. So really make sure that you start early with Christmas. There is no real issue with getting the jump on it because they really blend together very well. So also have some Christmas banners and everything, of course, ready to go as soon as Black Friday ends. Over here in the Netherlands, we really start early with Christmas marketing. And there's a reason for that because it is really a positive association that you want to tap into as early as possible. So speaking of Christmas, of course, is on the 25th. Green Monday. If you haven't heard of it, that's the main day. That's the biggest shopping day for Christmas. So that's on the 12th. And then we have Panic Saturday or Super Saturday, as others might call it, which is on the 17th. Panic Saturday or Super Saturday is usually the day when you can still shop and get your gifts and your products home in time for Christmas. So that's a very big one. Also, the day after Panic Saturday is usually the start of Hanukkah, if I'm not mistaken. So that's something you also might want to tap into for December. So what I would highly recommend in between these periods is a mobile exclusive sale. So Green Monday is the biggest retailer. Panic Saturday is, of course, when everybody's frantically trying to shop around. So you want to have that sweet spot right in between those two and offer your sales. So you're tapping into the folks that kind of miss Green Monday and are getting a bit anxious, but you're still before the folks that want to prevent Panic Saturday shopping and having empty shelves and basically having to end up buying some crappy gifts for your kids because you don't want to. So when it comes to the mobile exclusive, you want to start 3 weeks in advance, which is basically at the start of December. Then you also want to promote Green Monday around the same time, perhaps a week earlier, so they don't conflict with each other all that well. And a very important one, especially for the push messaging, is notices on delivery. As I mentioned before, delivery is a very, very important factor in shopping for Christmas. So make sure that, throughout your communications and your push messaging, you throw in a delivery notice every now and then, like, hey, get it before, let's say, the 18th, in order for us to get your gifts at your doorstep just in time for Christmas. So do keep that in mind, especially with push messaging. It's a really effective reminder to get people shopping. So last call, again, here we go, Green Monday, mobile exclusive. Now, in between, a very solid one is a warning, which sounds a bit, of course, more pressing that way, to really emphasize the fact that, you have to get it now or at least within a week, or we're not going to be able to deliver in time. So that's a really, really solid way of utilizing that impending doom that most Christmas shoppers who haven't done their shopping yet are feeling at this point of time. Statistics have shown that this has a very tremendous effect. Like on average, I believe it was around like a 25% increase in traffic just by putting out some warnings about the delivery. So last call, Panic Saturday, of course, and then we should be all set for Christmas. All right. So I think that's about it on the scheduling. Now, as promised, I have looked at dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of blogs. So to emphasize, there were a lot. Fortunately, when you go through a lot of them, you start to see a lot of similarities. Of course, most of them are saying the same thing. So what I've done is I've laid out, the most, interesting tips, I would say. We do have a lot more, but we will be sharing those with you during the upcoming weeks in App Success updates. So let's first start with the app itself. Easy branding, we've already mentioned it, but for Halloween, just some orange and black. For Christmas, just some red and green. It's a very, very simple way to tap into the holiday spirit, to brand according to these two holidays. So if you don't have like a designer or don't have a lot of time, just add these colors into an existing banner, throw in a pumpkin or a mistletoe, and you're good to go with some easy steps for Christmas. Then create categories per sale. I already mentioned this, but that's really important for your app to get it on early. So make sure you already have the category itself in your store. You have the products lined up within the categories, any discounts you want to offer, get some banners and stuff. Get that all set up on the get-go so you don't have to like frantically cobble something together like a couple of days before Christmas, Halloween, or whatever you. Make sure you get into this early, so that way it's just a couple of clicks of a button and you can easily switch out one sale for the other. Early access, app exclusive. It seems like I should get a tattoo of this because I keep mentioning it, but it's that important. You really want to incentivize people to go to your mobile, and not just for your sake, but it really adds to that exclusivity of offering your customers something special that the regular customer isn't getting. So we've done a blog about it earlier. You want to apply what they call a velvet rope strategy. So VIP treatments, so to speak. It's very easy to generate, and the effects have been great for our customers. Then push messaging. Well, it's kind of an obvious one, but I do want to mention that we have a plethora of icons that apply, of course, to the holiday season. Santa Claus hats, skull and bones, you name it. So do feel free to go through some of those and really spice up those push messages, because it has been clear from the data that just a little bit more than just plain text always catches the eye a bit more. So to increase your odds with the effect of push messaging, go nuts, have some fun. Next up, support the release, of gift guides and promotions. Timely push messages. So for example, when you start your Halloween sale, send out a really, really creepy push message around midnight. That's of course the ghost hour. So just one of the many examples of creativity. I'm sure you can figure out how to do this much better than I can, but it's definitely something that you want to get in on. Like early Christmas, send something along the lines of the warning, for example, for timely delivery, like, hey, Santa's sleigh is almost full. Make sure you get your shopping in, or little Timmy's going to be disappointed this year. Something along those lines. Again, have some fun with it. And of course, your coupon codes. This is a really effective strategy. If you want to get people onto the push messaging, make sure you have an incentive. So in the line with the sales funnel, as we mentioned earlier, you want to show them like, okay, download the app, make sure you have push messages activated, and then send out the coupon code exclusively via push message. That way, they really have to activate push messaging, of course. So something to consider, of course. For some, it works well, better than others, but do feel free to experiment with this during the holiday season. Then some holiday insights. So something that surprised me a little bit, but Halloween isn't as big as Christmas. So this is especially when looking at the American market. So you would imagine them being on the same par, but don't go overboard with it. So during, let's say, October, you want to do some Halloween content, of course, get your spook on, but don't be like Christmas where everything is just jingle bells. Save some time for some regular push messaging, some regular content as well during Halloween. So Black Friday, Cyber Monday, 52% of sales are new business. So go hard on your ads. This is really the season. Well, basically November is really the period where you are most likely to draw in new business, because as I mentioned, people aren't shopping loyally, they're shopping for deals. So really go hard on advertisements in your promotion of your Black Friday, Cyber Monday week. And then finally, 36% are shopping for Christmas during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So we before mentioned you can already start your teasers a bit of Christmas, but don't be afraid to just sell like Christmas gift guides or other package deals in that regard during your Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Last but not least, some happiness. I mean, it's not all about business, I would say. Oh, there we have it. Yeah, start your Halloween with a creepy push message at midnight. I wasn't sure I had it at the last slide, but we do. So for Black Friday, that's something, a little trend I've seen popping up as well, is instead of discounts or instead of just discounts, you can also donate to charity. So you don't have to, of course, give away all your discounts to charity. You can do some, or combine it with a project. Say for every, I don't know, X amount, we're going to plant a tree. Get creative with it. But just something that I thought would be good to know is that it's been a trend that I've seen popping up on several blogs and several stores, the bigger ones, the corporates, and even the smaller ones, is not just being about money, but also giving back a little bit. And then last but not least, for Christmas, give away something. It doesn't have to be like a huge deal. You could do a little giveaway, but be a bit like Santa. Be giving. It's the scene for it, after all. So, coming to the end, as promised, I'll look to see if there are any questions or everything is clear. But I think we've got it all sorted. Yeah, we're good. Excellent. Well, that either means I presented this really clear or really boring. I'll leave it up to you to decide. In closing, as I mentioned now time and time again, you want to create some specialized categories, artwork, and everything to get your sales set up. So if you have any questions about how to set up special app-only content within your app, please email me directly. It's something we've done for a lot of customers, and it's something that we, of course, as an app provider, have seen tremendous results with. So we really advise you to get on this, basically. So should you run into any issues or you have no idea how to do this whatsoever, please email myself at customer.success@JMango360.com. And I'm just going to do one little quick, nope, we're all good on the Q&A. So yeah, that's it. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart today for joining, of course. I hope that everything we've laid out here can assist you in having a kick-ass final quarter this year. Email us with any questions you might have. And for now, I'd like to thank you and wish you all the best of luck. Bye now.